Dogs.
The dogs.
Oh, the dogs? Is it what it is?
Oh. Off you go, baby.
We're off to Catherine Bay. Fat boy on a boat.
Fat boy on a boat.
Kia ora guys, welcome back to the channel. As you would have heard, we were making our way out to Catherine Bay. I knew of a nice weed line there that I could spearfish. It ranged from about 15 meters to 20 meters. That's sort of the range that I was mainly diving. I did make my way back up into the shallows to shoot a few pigfish, but that was towards the end of the dive. The target for this dive was a nice big kingfish for Christmas dinner and anything else that came my way that was worth shooting. And as you're about to see, it didn't take long for the kingfish to turn up. So I saw the kingy swim underneath and I took a quick breathe up because they buzzed me on my way to the surface, and like I usually do, I don't swim directly at the kingfish. I just sort of sink down beside them, trying not to make too much eye contact, and because they're such curious fish, they generally come back and have a look. And then I reach out, yep, take a nice shot there and poleaxed it right behind the gill plate. So I've made a nice shot. I know it's a good holding shot because I saw the spear go all the way through, and I start pulling this fish to the surface and it's really easy. So I'm thinking it's either going to come into life when it's in my hands and give me a good fight, or I've really badly hurt it and I've nicked its spine. You guys are about to see what happened on the surface. In terms of kingfish size, this was only a small one. It only went just over 900 long, or 90 centimeters, but this has got to be one of the hardest fights I've ever had from a kingfish. I've shot kingfish well over 15 to 20 kgs, but that was the hardest for me to get my hands in its gills. But as you can see, once I got my hand in its gills, it was all over.
Try get another one. I'm gonna make my way to that point.
So here's a good example of how I normally hunt weed lines. So I'm taking a pretty vertical line to the bottom, a little bit of an angle, just to see if I can see anything that I'm dropping on. But the main objective is getting to the bottom as soon as possible, getting comfortable, tucking myself beside a nice piece of weed, and basically just getting comfortable, throwing some sand, grunting, and just letting the fish come to me. Apologies about the camera angle here, team. I must have knocked it on a piece of weed or my spear gun during that kingfish fight, so yeah, sorry about that. My first port of call is I need to icky them so that they don't go through any more pain than they have to. And then I like to bleed them, so there's a membrane in behind the gill that you cut, and it just lets all of the blood out of the flesh, making the eating quality 100 times better. So I do that for all of my pelagic fish like trevally, kahawai and kingfish.
Just a little trevally. Little fatty. I'll just shoot a couple of pigfish on the way back to the boat. I haven't seen any more kiggies.
Another little technique for attracting fish on the reef is get down to the bottom, get comfortable, and then start scratching the rock, and you'd be surprised at how many fish come in and check out what you're doing. Here's Stephen, he's dead, and there's Aki.
I'm still alive, I'm not drunk, I'm just chilling.
Just chilling.
Yeah.
For me, seeing people eat the kai that you've hunted and gathered is almost just as good as actually going out and do the hunting. They get to see where it's come from, how it was harvested, how ethical it all was, and how selective it was. And it's just a pretty cool feeling.
Morning, 6:30, day 4. Yesterday went out, went for a dive around the corner, shot a kingfish, pigfish, trevally that fed us yesterday, and we've got no more fish left, so I'm going out this morning to try catch some breakfast.
Big bait going in. No decent tugs.
It just be about yours.
Ooh. Another keeper.
Another one from
Me. Here we go. This is that whole head. This is a good one.
With the Mackie on.
Yeah, Mackie head.
The head. Ooh, nice.
Ooh, look at those big tail beats. You can tell, eh? They go woo, woo, woo. Oh, this is a nicey. Here he is. We have colour.
Yes, he's big.
Good fish. Good eater.
Whoa.
Oh, definitely got breakfast. Me.
Hey, Stephen.
Well, I'll be bugging. Look at that, Stephen.
below me. Fucking.
That's what Conor McGregor was riding in Italy. One of those. He'll catch some waves back, watch. Have you ever seen that, Dad?
No, I've never seen that in my life.
He knows how to enjoy himself on the water, right?
You can exercise. Who needs a fucking bike to ride around the hills?
He reckons he's naked.
Oh, he's a fucking legend, isn't he?
He's moving.
What else can you do to enjoy life, eh?
Yeah, you can ride on the ocean.
You know that.
You can ride the ocean.
Fuck, did you get that on film?
Yeah.
Oh my God. There's me father-in-law, look at that. What a sight to see him come across here. Well, that's the highlight of my fucking trip so far.
Not bad morning. We have breakfast. We need more fish for dinner though, so we're gonna have to go back out today.
So same again, I'm diving a completely new area, roughly 15 meters deep. I'm taking a really shallow angle again just to make sure that I don't spook any, or I can see boarfish if they're parked up against the weed. I didn't see any this dive, but that's how I usually like to dive a new area first. I take quite a shallow angle just so that I can get a good look on what the terrain is like and what the weed is like down there. And here I'm just exposing my watch so that I can make sure I'm spending enough time on the surface between dives. So same again, I saw these kingies come through and I thought I took a really good shot. I've since slowed the footage down and it was a really good shot just behind the gill plate, right in the middle of the fish. But the flopper mustn't have engaged, but it pulled straight out as soon as I put pressure on my shooting line. So I'm rushing back to the surface, try and get a reload in just in case they're hanging around, and I quickly make another dive. I try to grunt and just try and pique their curiosity, because kingfish are really curious and they will come in if they don't know what you are or they think you're doing something funny. But I had obviously spooked these guys because I never saw them again. There's nothing more that I hate than wounding a fish and letting it swim away. However, kingfish are super hearty fish, and I've shot plenty of them that have big scars on them from previous spears. I'm not saying it's okay. All I'm saying is that they're quite resilient and they heal really well. We ended up changing spots, and I got the chance to dive somewhere I've always wanted to dive, and that's Wellington Heads. It's a spot with big water. It is always rough there. It has huge currents. It has massive drop-offs, and I was able to jump in. I spooked so many big snapper out of the guts here. I just wasn't ready for it. My ears were playing up, but I was able to sneak up on this little snapper here. It would have been legal, but I just didn't feel like pulling the trigger. Some days you don't want to pull the trigger just for the sake of pulling the trigger. So yeah, it was a good experience, and I'll definitely be going back here in the future.
Lots of big snapper.
Once again, team, if you have made it this far in the video, you're an absolute legend, and I appreciate you so much. If you wouldn't mind hitting that like button and consider subscribing, that would help out so much. And I'll see you in the next one, team.